Welcome to Muddy River News This Week, furnished by Harvey's. I'm Bob Gough. Today we're going to talk about the Adams County CEO program. We're going to do that with the director of the program, Roger Leenerts, and also one of the students, Cole Wagy. Roger, can we call him a prize student?
I've got a lot of prize students this year, but he does have some special things coming up in the next several weeks.
Cole, you are a senior. You play on the football team, on the offensive line. You're not small. So you've got a big game coming up, but I need you to focus on this for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can think about winning that first round game afterwards, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck, by the way.
Thank you.
So the bio that Roger sent me was you're already an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur in what?
I actually run a little small detailing business with another student in the class of mine. That is my best friend.
You want to say his or her name?
Nathaniel Hetzler.
Good.
He's also in the class.
There you go.
Me and him started up about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And we've been blessed with opportunities and friends, and it's kind of actually what started us with this class.
Car detailing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Roger, what exactly is the Adams County CEO program? It's been around a couple of years. We had a story this week on Muddy River News regarding one of your other, a graduate from the program apparently, Alex Eckhart, who's got a new shoe business downtown. So talk a little bit about how the CEO program got Alex started and got Cole started.
Well, years ago there was something called the Quincy Next Strategic Plan, and out of that they were trying to figure out how to keep young people involved in our community, maybe after they went to college or starting businesses. And so the CEO program came out of that. Now, we didn't come up with that. It was started 13 years ago in Effingham, Illinois. So there's over 70 programs in the U.S., over 4,000 students that have been through that. This is our fourth year for this program here.
And again, how many students are in the class this year?
We've got 18 students, and in order to be in the class, you have to be a senior in a school in Adams County or being homeschooled as a senior in Adams County.
So you apply as a junior and then you get in your senior year.
Exactly. They apply, and it has to work out with their schedule because this is the first 2 credit hours of the day. And then there are people on our board of directors, and they look at the applicants and decide who's going to get in the program.
Cole, it's been with this, you being an athlete and having extracurricular activities. Does this? You got a lot on your plate right now, right?
Yes, sir.
So this has been something that you obviously enjoy, or Roger wouldn't have brought you along. How has this project helped you as an all-round student?
I'd say there's a lot of opportunities that I've gotten because even though I am super busy, every time I come into class, Roger's always given us something to do, something useful, a life skill is kind of what I like to see. This class isn't really like any other class we have. It's super hands-on and out and about, touring businesses. So I just say it just comes down to life skills, and he just provides us with that every day.
Again, when you're running a business, you got to do a lot of different things. Budgeting, prop P&L, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you're learning, right?
Yes, sir. We're kind of learning lots of stuff about it. We're actually organizing a class business right now, so we're kind of learning a lot of it as we go, and we're still in the early development of it.
Roger, you talked about this being part of the strategic plan, but you've also had multiple local businesses who have stepped up and made financial commitments as well, correct?
Absolutely. So this is completely funded by local businesses. It's not funded by any school district or taxpayers. So we have about 20 to 30 businesses in the Adams County area that fund this, and that's able to pay for all the things that are associated with this class.
And when your class comes in, each class comes in, do you then, I assume there are a lot of field trips involved in this. You go to a lot of businesses, and these kids are able to look and say, hey, I'd like to try that, or okay, that's interesting, but I think I could do this.
You nailed it. One of the best things that comes out of this is career exploration, which isn't even really promoted. So the students get a chance to learn about, just like today during this interview process, Cole is learning what happens in an interview and what happens behind the scenes. And when we go to other businesses, whether it's farming or a dress shop in town, they're learning about all of those things.
And we focus a lot on kids here, especially on the sports side and things that they do. But we always like to see when the schools let us know, hey, we've got a student who's doing this or we've got a student doing that. In this program, you've got 18 students. You joke that Cole's not. You've got 18 prize students. So how have you seen the program itself, Roger, develop since its inception?
At the very beginning, the students didn't know what they were really applying for. And what's happened over the last 4 years, they're starting to hear about this from their classmates. So a student that maybe goes to Notre Dame, one of them last year, he told a bunch of his friends, hey, this is a great opportunity. And so the juniors start to listen to that and start to apply. And that will happen even more so this year. Especially this year, we've got Unity High School and Liberty and Payson and Notre Dame and Quincy High School involved, and all of those kids are very active in their own schools.
And Alex, another example who we talked about and had the story on this week on Muddy River. He's graduated from the program and he's got his own business now, and he also now sits on your board.
Yes. And he actually had started that business before he got into CEO. So I had very little to do with that except maybe fan the flames of what he already had going. And in fact, he's an example. I didn't even understand the concept of high-priced shoes and who would want to spend that much money for them. So I can't give any advice in that area. All I can do is introduce him to people that understand marketing and sales and that.
So Cole, your folks can't take you to Walmart and get you a pair of shoes. It doesn't work that way, right?
No.
That's what I figured. So, well, you got to have good cleats. I mean, obviously, that goes a long way. Cole, what has been the most difficult part of this class? I know you enjoy it and you've got this fledgling business going on, but there's got to be a part of it that's kind of like, man, this is a bear.
I would say being there early. I'm used to kind of in today's age where kids my age, we're used to being there 10 minutes late or just getting there whenever we want to and not having to kind of run on a schedule. And so especially at the start, you have to be there 10 minutes early in class and just getting there on time and accommodating for the time in traffic and just doing some of these things that I had never had to experience before.
You need to have a conversation with Ashley Conrad, who works for me, because her version of on time is we always tape her program most days at noon. She comes clacking in on the heels at 11:59:45. So I'm just kidding, Ashley. But no, I think that's important. And again, that's something that I've always been. I want to be. If I'm not there 5 to 10 minutes early, I feel like I'm late. And Roger and I are sort of the same generation, where it's like, okay, got to be there on time. And again, being in the media business, where I had to hit deadlines and I had to be on television or radio at certain times, that was ingrained in me. But it's still, when I first got into this business a long time ago, it's something that you have to, when you have to go decide you're going to be a news guy on the radio and you have to be on the air at 6 a.m., you got to be there at 4 a.m. to get all your scripts ready. So, but now I look at it as when you get in that, professional world, when you start adulting, so to speak, that's expected. And, college is great because you can schedule late classes and do whatever, but once you've got your degrees or don't have your degrees, you just decide, hey, I'm going to go out on my own. It ain't game time is on time. You need to be there. You need to be there a little early.
Right.
Always helps. So I think that's the best piece of advice he's given you right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for you, but years down the road, you're going to look at it and go, man, I'm glad I'm here, because it's the early bird gets the worm, what have you. So, Roger, from your perspective, what's been the toughest thing to instill to the kids?
The toughest thing? Wow, that's a great question. I would say most students have been taught to study for a test and then kind of forget the information. And in CEO, we're trying to tell people this isn't about test taking, this is about learning life skills. And so it's a mindset change. They don't have exams in this class. You get A's when you are on time and you turn your journal in every week and you dress the way you're supposed to dress for class. And so those are easy ways to get A's, but they're difficult for a lot of people.
When you say they're easy, no, you're right though, because so much of education today is being taught to the test. It's like, can I get the SAT or the ACT book and study for the test? And you need to learn how the real world works. I mean, whether it's balancing a checkbook, all this kind of stuff that schools have kind of gone away from. the important life skills that employers are looking for are the kind of stuff that's what he's talking about, Cole. So listen to him. He's giving you great advice. Again, be on time, be professional. When you get a little older, you can kind of, maybe we can do, but no, when you are in there trying to make your way in the world in the beginning, yeah, that's important stuff. So I've been kind of following this program or just kind of watching it grow over the last couple of years. It's really been impressive, when you see the stories of like you and Alex and all the other kids involved. Roger, how big can the CEO program get?
Well, it gets much more challenging when you get more than the 18 or 20 students. We have 18 this year. Just because we're visiting businesses, a lot of businesses don't have 18 parking spots for students to drive in.
You can't get a bus?
And every one of them is responsible for getting themselves to and from the location.
Okay.
There is no transportation provided.
All right, that's fair.
So that is a challenge, but other communities that this has grown and really taken off, they've created 2 programs. Okay. And that has been successful there. And I don't know when we'll be ready for that, but it could be in the future.
What other organizations, you talk about your sponsoring businesses, what other organizations have really kind of helped Adams CEO grow in this manner?
Well, my title is facilitator, and it's really important to state I'm actually not the teacher. The teachers are the ones that they go talk to. So when we went to Freeze Nursery and they're talking to the owner of Freeze Nursery, he's teaching them. When we go to another company in town, they're teaching them. And those are, I just think, the most valuable things that the students are going to get out of it.
Okay, as we wrap up here, Cole, now that you're almost graduated, but not there yet, and you're starting this business, is this a business where you want to stay home, or is this a business where like, hey, I can go do this and take this on the road?
It's been a lot under consideration for me and my business partner. We've done a lot of thinking about it, and there's a lot of thinking to do in the future with it. We definitely think we can take it to another level, almost like what Alex Eckhart did. We think we could definitely do something similar to that, but right now we're just kind of going day by day.
Well, Roger, you mentioned the strategic plan earlier, and one of those other strategic plans is trying to convince kids to stay home. Now, myself, I've got 2 kids who are living, and my 2 oldest are living out of Quincy, and my our youngest with my wife and I, he's at Illinois State right now, but I had this conversation on last week on Club Muddy with a young man, and it's like it's so important to try to get the kids to realize the value of what we have here in Quincy and Adams County, and really try to sell them on staying home because we need them, and we have to have the good jobs, and if the good jobs aren't there, maybe they're creating the jobs, or maybe these guys are the ones creating the jobs that'll have 15, 20 employees. So I think this mission really goes hand in hand with all that.
Yes, and nobody in this program is asking these high school seniors to stay around here next year. Mm-hmm. We know they're going to go off to college. They're going to go see the world. They're going to go see things. We just want them in the back of their head to know what a great community we have, and it's a great cost of living, and there's great opportunities here, and that they might consider coming back here and really giving their skills to our community.
Although our friends at John Wood, Culver Stockton, and Quincy University would appreciate you sticking around too. That's a completely different matter. So, well, anyway, again, want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. Continued success with the program. Continued success, Cole, here. Expect a win. So
Yes,
let's get a win.
Yes, sir.
Or 2, or 3.
Or 5.
Or 5. Oh, that's what we like to hear right there. Or 5. So, all right. Well, thanks again, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's all the time we have for now. I'm Bob Gough. Have a great week.